How important has the Bible been in your life? We had family devotions every day where we'd sit around and my dad would read from Scripture, talk about it a little bit, and have prayer for us. I think growing up in that kind of a situation where the Bible was revered and was personalized, it was something that was read every day. It was a part of the rhythm, the natural rhythm of life for me from the time I was a little kid. I was a blessed recipient, beneficiary of people in my life who talked about Scripture as though it was a natural part of life. I knew of Bono and I knew U2 just because I listened to their music. He reads Scripture. He loves Jesus. And we talked about everything, including Eugene Peterson. And he told me, he said, "Peb, I can get together with almost anybody in the world, but the one guy I really want to see is Eugene Peterson."
The rest of the story is when he invited you to come and hang with them for a while, you turned him down.
I was pushing a deadline on the message. I was finishing up the Old Testament at the time, and I really couldn't do it.
You may be the only person alive who would turn down the opportunity just to make a deadline. I mean, come on. It's Bono, for crying out loud.
Dean, it was Isaiah.
Yeah.
He wrote that message for the people in his church. I don't think he had a thought that it was going to be as widespread or that he would even do the entire Bible. But he wrote it because he found that some of the wording in translated Scripture up to that point maybe had been a little bit heavy. So he wanted to write it in a language that his people in his church understood. Eugene's not the most charismatic guy, never had a church of more than 400 or so, but yet Bono wanted to be with him. You could have all the money in the world with a PR agency or whatever, you could never make this happen. You can't make this up. It's a God moment.
Several years later, this was about 4 years ago, Bono would like us to come to Dallas, Jan and me, to come to Dallas for a concert. We went to the concert. He was sensitive to us. We were really well cared for, had really good seats. And I'd never seen a mash pit before. That was my introduction to the mash pit. Is it a pit?
It's a mosh pit.
Mosh pit. Okay. You can see how uneducated I am in this world.
During the concert, Bono said, "Finally, I want to mention Eugene Peterson and Peb Jackson and thank them for helping me."
I remember the Psalms from the little Church of Ireland church as a child going. I remember thinking, great words, shame about the tunes. Except for "The Lord is my shepherd," which was a great tune. And I really like that. This is good. Words and melodies. The psalmist is brutally honest about the explosive joy that he's feeling and the deep sorrow or confusion. And it's that sets the Psalms apart for me. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me down to lie in pastures green. He leadeth me the quiet waters by. Is that right?
It's beautiful. It was right.
I got started with this translating the Psalms, by translating a psalm for a certain person, just a single person, to try to get them to realize that praying wasn't being nice before God. I would translate a psalm that I thought fit them. And the psalms are not pretty. They're not nice. And I would ask them, just pray this psalm using my translation. I think I'm doing it about as close to the Hebrew as I can get it. And I think we're trying for honesty, which is very, very hard in our culture.
Bono did a foreword to the Message version of Scripture. He says this: I discovered Eugene Peterson's The Message through the Psalms. In the dressing room before a show, we would read them as a band, then walk out into the arenas and stadiums, the words igniting us, inspiring us. Priceless book, I think. And I think all of this is so consistent with a museum. The engagement of the Bible in human history, all the way to our heart, our individual aspect of it. The purpose of this place is so reinforcing to faith in a way that's respectful by the principles that are expressed and explained and described and exhibited in this museum. The idea of keeping this strong, well-supported at whatever level is an honor, a privilege, and it's important because it's necessary. There's going to be a lot of families and a lot of people who feel compelled to give. Isn't it a good thing to support this as an ongoing living example of what the Bible is all about? Not what it was about, not where it came from just, but what it is today and what it'll be in the future with next generation.